Done with setting up the app. So now as I touch the chair, you should see the notification. As you can see, touch sense motion detected, object chair coordinates, ID, last timestamp when touched, more detail. I'll bring my hand near to my face.
Wash your hands.
So it's giving warning, as you can see. Yeah, so when I bring my hand over here,
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. 1. So and whenever I'm keeping down, detection is 0. So this was a. You can see notifications on laptop. It's been detected. 1, please wash your hands. Go wash your hands and touch sense what are the objects we touched recently. Yeah. If we washed our hand, you will see a notification like this. Hand wash details and details of touch history has been erased, and what are the objects you have touched before to that, and skeleton poses that you will see in the coming part. So now as you can see, like wash is 1, that means we have just washed our hands. So again touch will become 0 as shown. Now whenever I just raise my hand as like this, detections will take place. Like when I bring my hand closer to the face, as you can see detection has been like fluctuating between 1, because whenever hand is detected 1, and whenever just hand is taken off the screen it's 0. So no notification, no alarm, wash your hand alarm is not there because hand wash. Let's see if we detect our hand coming closer to face, what will happen. As we have washed our hands, so touch will be 0. So just it will say motion detected, hand wash details when you're like past, like when you did timestamp with all those things, past when you did like before history. But again it's like this can be disabled because we don't need this. No, we need alarm only when touch and detect is 1. So whenever we touch the thing, we didn't wash, and when we detect that our hand is coming closer to our face, then only we need to send an alarm or give an alert. So yeah. And again it can be employed in like real world also, outside our houses, for like cars detection which are coming outside. So using this YOLO, you can also detect like number of vehicles crossing from single line, so that more vehicles or like motorcycles are there, means their number can be detected and fine can be sent to their home or like that. So detection of number plate, which they basically are doing in some countries and some places in India too. And again these things can be employed also in the real world situations too. So again, like in the Fast and Furious movie, identify the person and locking the drone towards him, the missile towards him. So again in the Spider-Man 2, the drone thing focused on him. So again face tagging everything. So again just engage, like I said, old smartphone you can just engage as CC camera if you don't have in your house, and again you can test on it. So I just tested like this testing was for like 0 to 10 days, and again training for a few hours, as you can see. So yeah, let's continue with the next part. Hi guys, welcome back to Severe Rocket, and this is Rohit from Severe Rocket. Today in this video I'm going to talk about my project which I just did in few days of quarantine period. And again I just named this one as Corona or COVID Touch because of this only reason. Jumping straight into the project, what it does means whenever you do some actions, like whenever you're going to sit on your chair and whenever you're going to open the refrigerator, anything, so you're going to touch that item, so it will just basically grab the touch information. So whenever you touch some item, it will just record that you have touched that item. So if you go and wash your hands, so that information will be disappeared, no problem, so that you can bring your hand near to your face and it will not give any alarm or any signal that you should not bring your hand near to your face. But if you didn't wash, you have touched some item but you didn't wash it, you washed your hand, so what, whenever you bring your hand near to the face, it gives you a signal or some alarm, like, so that you go and wash your hand before bringing your hand near to your face. So this will be done again by using AI, machine learning, deep learning, can you see, and then so where object tracking of object detection will be done. And I'm going to use yolov3 and tensorflow. So basically what happens, like using AI, what we can do is we can make the system to learn like here I will be using CC camera in the context, which can be used like a CC camera or a webcam or video feeder to the computer, or we can say like direct streaming from CC camera. So I will just to simplify everything, I will just say CC camera, so you should get that context. And again, what we can say like AI, this can be implemented with AI also. In AI, what will happen is like we can use reinforcement learning. So whenever the CC camera is recording, so day by day or hour by hour, it will just learn the machine will learn itself, like it will try to sense the hand gestures. So whenever some thing touches, it will try to predict the like it will get an image of hand. Let's like by training so many iterations, we will try to capture the information of hand, the hand image, the chair image, couch, fridge image, and again try to get all the metadata information, and will predict that whenever we are going to touch. But for now I'm just using a supervised concept, so I will just feed the data set and will customly train the hand and chair information or metadata images, so that whenever it find in the stream, again in CC camera, so all those things will come into CC camera context, which I said earlier. So whenever it sees hand and chair, so it will try to predict those as chair and hand. Again, we will draw contours, that boundary box is rectangular, we'll have accuracy score. And again, in object detection and object tracking, we will also have hand 1, hand 2, because if there are so many hands and again if there are so many chairs, so we need to give some ID. And again also we'll send all the metadata to database. Again, we'll use cloud pubsub for notification and cloud functions for resizing the image, so that it will be useful in computation. Power will be less if we resize and compress the image data. Or video is nothing but just frames, so many frames of images. So yeah, pretty much. And again, we'll use Posenet, ml5.js, tensorflow.js, and again for that hand coming to the face, and postnet.js actually for like whatever, like I said, no hand wash pose. Again, all those technologies and details will be covered later part of video. So just now we will move to CVR flow. So as you can see, stages are divided into what, demo, and how. So this entire project will be divided in what, demo, how. So in what case we have hand touch, so hand, chair, etc. will be like all those will be trained. And again, training can be for few hours, and this testing can be for few days I did. And then reinforcement learning, AI machine learning we can do, and notify. So whenever anything has been touched, we can just give the notification to the client. Here for example myself. And hand wash, so hand wash I am going to use Posenet, and again ML5 JS library it will be having, so it will be just a model. And posture control, so that posture the hand wash posture we need to bring, so that we can detect the computer will be detecting that as a hand wash, and we will sending the information to database. And then we'll explain. Notify using pubsub and messaging, cloud messaging and functions, all those will be done. And then hand to face, so whenever I bring my hand near to my face, so again we need to send some signal that whenever a hand comes into picture, like coming to near to face, so that signal should be activated. So resizing of image using cloud function that I've said. tensorflow.js we are going to use over here. So all with these three things we'll be combining, and I will show in the demo. And again, labeling, logo detection, text detection, object web detection, these can be done by using vision and video intelligence API by Google Cloud Platform, and that we'll be having this API. So tech use I will show you afterwards. And so endpoint is nothing but we're going to send notification to client. And so this comes under what and demo section of this total project. And in how section, how this been implemented. So again, I can't show like all the things how it's been implemented, because it will be like going out of this project scope, or this, and at least the duration of this video, it will be going out of that scope. So I will try to explain in a nutshell. So yeah, let's get started. And this video is brought to you and sponsored by Severe Rocket. Again, if you don't know, we provide solutions, products and services in the radar of AI, machine learning, deep learning, and for like websites, apps, etc. So you can just check it out. And we have some platforms. Coding Now platform is actually for coders, those who have like interest in this coding department. You can just check it out. And again, some of my projects are also, all the details will be there. You can anonymously go, anonymous login, all those options. Again, video is in the YouTube channel, you can just check it out. And this is a CVR Learn, where we have the courses, and you can just check it out, those things like these are some courses. Again, donation is going on. You can also shoot up for the donation this thing, and I'm giving some courses, promo codes, benefits too. And this play plug, it's actually like plugins, web plugin, just socket chat. Others are other plugins and courses are in like staging. Again, existing user can use though, so you can just avail this, all the payments with card, and again with Stripe, PayPal, all those UPI payment gateways, all those enabled. You can just check out these things. And at last we have like CVR games, this web game. If I suppose there are two games, you can just log in from here and just play like Decoded and quiz game. And in those videos also they're in the YouTube channel, so you can just check for all the details, shoot out to description box below. So coming to CR board, so I will just show you how the project workflow, where everything, stick flow, whatever, explain how it goes on. So suppose, assume this to be chair. Again, I'm not a good drawer, at least on a computer boards. So again, assume this to be a hand rest, and if we have some person sitting over on the chair and he keeps his hand over hand rest, so that means he's touching the chair. So for example, take this as a chair contour. Again, we will draw the rectangle around the chair, so it will be detected or tracked. What all will have the metadata here, the ID, what chair has been tracked, number, and we also be having that accuracy score, by what percent it's determined this as a chair. Again, just color code. Take some hand has been detected outside the chair contour for suppose, so that means that hand is not, like, we didn't touch the chair, but if we touch the chair, it will come, the contour will be intersecting with this chair contour. And it can be also here, the hand can be inside this chair contour also, that means we have touched the chair. So this is a basic mapping which I'm going to use in my project. So with this this metadata will also be sent to the database, all this metadata, it's color code, so this will be sent to the database. So what in the database we'll be having, so all the attributes, and this will be having like accuracy score, ID, which chair has been touched, at which time we have touched, and what hand, like what hand ID we have touched. All the metadata will be there in the database. And again, we will be having one other extra attribute, touch. This touch, we will be having binary value, again class values. It can be 0 or 1. So for preset, we will preset it with 0. So whenever like here I have touched the chair, so it will be turned to 1. That means we have touched a chair. So again, this will be like this touch information again will have metadata, like what chair we have touched and what time we have touched. So all those metadata, useful information will be there. Afterwards, what we'll be doing is, again, here we can use the CC camera. So this CC camera is recording all the observation of this chair and hand. So with that only we got this contour actually. So CC camera, in the sense I said the previous context, CC camera means it can be video stream, or it can be webcam, or we can just give the video directly to the computer to process the information. So by this computer vision only, so actually there will be CNN layers, convolution neural network layers, and again yolov3 and tensorflow, we are going to use it. In how part I will explain all those things. So with that only, this image, feed image, is nothing but like frames, so many frames combine of that image, like so many frames of images will make a video. So video will be fed to computer. So and then again we'll draw these plots and we will send this information database. So again, if we have touched something, it will also give like a notification to the user client. Here for example, myself only to mobile or web application, the interface, the endpoint can be anything. So to that we will get a notification with the information, the metadata there. So also like all the coordinates also will be sent over here. In this place, in this time, you have touched the chair. Again, main information is like when we are bringing our hand near to face, that time it should be triggered. But again, we are sending notification for now. Now coming to next part is we need to detect we are washing our hands. Then only we can like whenever I bring my hand near to my face, then only we can send signals. So for washing, what we are going to use is Posenet. So for suppose is a person, again stick person. So yeah, these are hands and legs respectively. And again, for washing we will give some like the position will be like this, right? So I'm just drawing the same thing. So this is the hand, for suppose this is the wrist actually. Again, in the Posenet we'll have like skeleton and poses information. So poses are nothing but the different points will be there in our body, like these are the points, some of the points. And the skeleton information is nothing but these things. so it will just tag those things. So for example, I'm just drawing y-axis and x-axis, for example, these things, and now just color code it. So this, in this pose, washing pose, actually pretty much the y-axis is same, right? See, like y coordinates will be same, and but x coordinate will be these things. So just I'm using this small information in my project, like y should be less than or equal to 10. Again, say it is actually can be 0, but in real world scenario, and whenever it's the webcam or cc camera, the context camera context, whichever it's taking the feed, it will not obviously be exactly 0. So I'm just using this like boundary value, or just some value less than or equal to 10, and x is I've just calibrated, and it will be less than 100 will do. So as you can see, this distance is x coordinates values. So x distance will get by y axis, and y distance will get x axis, again the basic maths. So this information I'm just using. So whenever I keep my hand in the washing position, that means like in this position, like by tracking this information mapping, that means we are just washing. So this signal will be sent to the database again, and that will turn all the touch values to 0. That means whatever we touch after washing, it will be just cleans, and no problem, nothing to worry. Again, one more thing to tell over here, and again x and y is not equal to 0. This is also a case, like in, like if you're not bringing your wrist in the capture, if you're keeping backside, or you're just not showing your wrist, that again it will be undefined or 0. In that case, we need not to send the database information that it's washing. So whenever the hand like poses are in this boundary, then only we have to send the information database, that means we are washing. So it will turn the touch value from 1 to 0. And again, in this case, also x not equal to 0 and y not equal to 0 also will be considered in the boundary, and again x is equal to 0, here x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 will also come. So we need to include this information additionally with this, so that like undefined and 0 case will not be there. Because if we just bring back, or we'll just not show our wrist, actually it's wrist values, these things, if we not show that, in that sense also we just send wash information, which is like hand wash information, and change the touch value from 1 to 0, which is wrong actually. So yeah, now for example, the touch value has been changed to 0, so we have washed our hands. So whenever in like our laptop or anything we have webcam, so we will be feeding this information, like it will be live whenever we are going to work on laptop. So in live stream, it will just detect our action. So whenever I bring my hand near to my face, at that time it will be looking in the database, like touch information is 0 or 1. If it is 0 means it will not give any alert, but if the information for suppose is 1, that means we have touched the chair or table, couch, fridge, refrigerator, anything, but we didn't wash our hands. So on the wash our hands will be detected by Posenet, pose information, which I just said earlier. So if it is 1, touch information is 1, means it will send an alarm that please wash your hands. And again, in post information, if you have washed your hands, at that time also will be sending notification to the client. Here for example, myself, like you have washed your hand, at this time all the metadata will be sent. And for here, this is the last thing, like whenever we bring our hand near to our face, at that time if the touch value is 0, means no problem, no information, no notification. Again, you can send the notification, you have safe. Again, if it's 1 means please wash your go and wash your hands, you have touched these information. So all those notifications will be popped up in our phone or any interface. That's just basically endpoint. And again, one alarm will be like a alarm music will be sounded that please wash your hands. So that's the main thing which we need. Other things are we need not bother that much because of all those notifications, but this notification or this alarm is major thing which I am plotting in this my project. Again, this is kind of like if we have something like this is a total frame for suppose, and then for example we have drone over here and it says camera. So if we have human face over here, main frame, there's a foreground and this background. So whenever the drone automatically needs to adjust, like it needs to bring the person or the object in middle of the frame, what it does means it will take the capture this thing contour of face and eyes and this total background, and it will find the center of total background. For suppose over here it tried to rotate himself, that itself left or right drone itself, so that this contour box matches with this. So this center, this I will just color code, this center with this blue. So green should be matched with blue, so it will adjust automatically like that, so that the foreground will be in the center of the whole background. So this is a basic concept in the feed also what we are going to use. And again, in the laptop, whenever it's going to take, it will just, we have human face, if we have eyes, face, everything will be there. And whenever this hand, for suppose whenever we bring the hand in the context of the webcam or web feed, because we will be in working the laptop, means webcam only will be used. So whenever we bring that, it will detect as a face, and we are, whenever we are going to bring that in face, let us assume this to be what is say like face contour, and whenever we are going to bring the hand contour like intersecting or inside, means it will be detecting like we are bringing our hand closer. If it's outside, means no problem. And again, if it's outside the background also, assume this to be background, also no problem. Whenever we're going to bring in the contour of the face, then only it's a problem. That means we are bringing our face like hand near to our face. So then it will check the touch values. Again, the endpoints, 0 means safe, 1 means alarm. Yeah, so this is a basic database, simple database. And as you can see, and all the metadata will be there, like hand, chair, whatever we like, all the contours, timestamps. So as we go along, I will just say. And this is the other attribute which I said, touch. Touch means whenever I touch some object, so the object details, what object I touched. Simply it's like binary, this one. So all the metadata will be stored over here, like what objects I touched, and like the coordinates, and on which timestamps, all those. And this is just like a binary data. So to give you a picture, as you can see, this touch was detect. So if we didn't touch anything, so alert and final notification will be no need, because we didn't touch anything. And again, coming over here, again it's like binary representation. Coming over here to here, like when we touch anything, and again whenever we detect our hand, then only we need to see for alert and final notification. So we can just classify just for these two boxes, this line and this line. And whenever we touch something and we are not washing, so at that, and we are detecting our hand, whenever we're bringing our hand to face, near face, at that time we need to give the alert or final notification. But whenever we are touching something and we are washing, that means it will like the touch variable again will become 0. Then we are detecting our hand coming to near to our face. At that time, no need to give any notification, because we have just washed it. So again, that's why wash variable is also not much important, this attribute too. So touch and detect, if they are 1, as you can see, then only we need to give the notification. And again, if it is touch, wash, detect, for particular instances, notification can be given, like at what time you touched anything, what object you touched, and what, like when you washed your hand, and detected, like where you detected in mobile phone, laptop, through webcam, selfie camera, anything. So how you detected, and coordinates, all those metadata information. As we go along, I will just say you. And alert and notification, as you know, we will get only when touch and detect is detected, like the variable is switched to 1, like high, logic high. This small architecture actually, so hand detecting with touching chair, washing hand, as you can see, and hand to face in the notification. So yeah, hand to face. So we are using, like this thing is done by training AI machine learning, YOLO, deepsort, tensorflow, custom training. We are doing an detecting of face, like a hand wash thing is using Posenet ML5 framework. In that it has, and 0 1 classification, hand to face, whenever bringing tensorflow.js. Again, we're just bringing all those variables and all those data into the database, and using cloud function we will be doing resizing. Again, text object web logo detection, in like copying data. So whenever the text has been given as a total string, so we need only the important portion we can just take, and we can change to uppercase, and we can store in the same node, copy data. That's why I'm saying like that. And again, insertion, modification, all those things which I've said. For each variable we need one function, and for last one, this one, for this one function is needed if it both are 1. And for each, like touch is 1, and wash is 1, detect is 1, that time one function, so 4 functions like that. And again, for these thing, resizing, everything will be functions on a cloud function which act as a backend to the database. So it just triggers whenever these changes happen. So whenever we see like these two are 1, for example, then that function triggers, basically sends a notification. That's why pub sub I'm saying, and notifies the endpoints to the our client side. So endpoints can be anything. So let's move to the demo. I'm done with the setting up the app. Now let's move on. Now as you can see the notification over here, touch sense, motion detected, object, chair coordinates, all those ID, like what is the number, like number of chairs, what is the number ID of that particular chair, timestamp, more details you can just see. So yeah, so for example, first we will not wash our hands and see. So as the touch, we have touched something, and now if we detect our hand coming near to our face, so it should give alarm. So just see. So this is like a webcam from my laptop. So let's see how it goes. So whenever I bring my hand near to my face,
Wash your hands.
so it's giving warning, as you can see.
Wash your hands.
So I will just bring
Wash your hands.
so
Wash your hands.
you can see its hand has been detected. This frames per second.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
I'll just keep there. Normally if you do, it's like this. So I'll just bring over here.
Wash your hands.
So this is the same thing which I want to. I can see on the mobile also. If I'll just bring my hand.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash.
So it's giving me information like touch sense, whatever things I've touched. So I didn't wash, that's why wash information is not giving. On laptop it's been detected, coordinates, timestamps, all those details, more details, as you can see. Again, touch whatever the things I touched it's giving, and please wash your hands. This is the main thing. One means this thing detect has been 0 actually, because I'm not now detecting. So whenever I bring my hand closer to that, so it will again show as 1. It was previously as 1, and please wash your hands. This was given, the information given by that app. And again, if I bring my hand here like
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
give again
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
drop means 1 has been given.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Again,
Wash your
just drop it, 1 will be gone, and it will back to 0. So if I'll just show you in real time,
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
move back down. So whenever I keep my hand,
Wash your hands.
it will become 1, and it will
Wash your
keep
hands.
down, it's becoming 0, and touch is already there, and I will wash for this example. And if I want to show you like side by side, then just place this over here, and I will just
Wash your hands.
this over here. So yeah, so whenever I bring my hand over here,
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
and it's detecting and
Wash your
detects 1. So and whenever I'm keeping down, detection is 0. So this was a basic concept, like whenever I bring my hand closer to my
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
frames per second,
Wash your-
slowly it will go, and detection will be 1 whenever the
Hands.
frames
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
0 whenever the hands will be coming down. So and again notifications are coming through and through. So yeah, that was. No, I just washed the hands, and then what had happened is this touch will become 0, hanging cloud function thing. Again, if I go to the mobile, so hand wash details will come. So this time hand wash and pose and skeleton coordinates, all those, like as you can see this difference between these two and difference between these two, like this one is less than or equal to 100, and this one is less than equal to 100. So these are x1 x2, these are y1 y2, and again coordinates, skeleton coordinates, and more details you can just see. Now what we'll go do. So yeah, this is the pose detection thing. So as you can see, we are getting object in that object we have pose and skeleton. Now whenever I just move my hands, you just follow that blue dots. So whenever I just bring over here, as you can see, the y-axis are almost similar, and as you can see wash I'm getting, and distance of x and y. And as you can see, like whenever I'm bringing my hands closer, as you can see, so the x distance is like less than or equal to 100, and y is almost same or like less than or equal to 10 I've kept. So whenever I'm just bringing like that, it's getting wash. So that means that wash variable will be turned to 1, and yeah, you can just wash like this. So whenever you bring this position, that means you're washing your hands. So this is the calibration which I just made, and you can use the skeleton too, skeleton with the skeleton arms, and again with legs. So yeah, you can pretty much do that Again, you can create your own pose. As you can see that all the points will be there. You can just utilize and creatively use. So whenever I'm just doing like this, we'll be getting wash. And again, this one is like using the left and right eye positions whenever I go for back, so the distance will between those will be less, so this nose ball will be small. Whenever I bring closer, so this will be more, and nose ball will be larger. So small calculation thing. Again, I just want to show you this object, like how it looks. Just pause it. We have 3 objects, so we'll just take this one. As you can see, we have pose, and in this pose you can take key points nose. I'm just taking a left wrist and right wrist, and you can also left eye and right eye I'm taking. You can also take all these things. And then, so as you can see, I'm having the skeleton information over here: right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, left wrist of the same object only, and wash information, x difference, coordinates difference, y coordinate difference. Again, I'm taking absolute of that, so absolute of that less than or equal to 100, and absolute of y less than or equal to 10, and this one is x, obviously. So now, as you can see, like wash is 1, that means we have just washed our hands. So again, touch will become 0 as shown. Now whenever I'll just raise my hand as like this, detections will take place. Like whenever I bring my hand closer to face, as you can see, detection has been like fluctuating between 1, because whenever hand is detected 1, and whenever just hand is taken off the screen, it's 0. So no notification, no alarm, wash your hand alarm is not there, because I just wash my hands and touch is 0, because while washing our hand, the touch will become 0. And kind of that was the thing, like with wash. So detection and touch, whenever they are turning on, like whenever they are on one stage, like active high stage, at that time only, like we will be getting alarm and we will get a notification like please go wash your hand. Now we are just pretty much getting the notifications regarding like hand wash details, like when recently you did hand wash, so that's why it's saying details of touch history has been erased. As you can see, touch is 0, and on the laptop we have detected the motion at that time, and again now it's not detected now, because again I just raised my hand. So whenever it will detect, and you can disable these notifications. So yeah, those things have been done, but we are not getting like please go wash your hands, because the wash is 1, touch is 0. So when touch and detect change to active high, at that time only we'll get please go wash your hand, and again that alarm, annoying alarm, please go and wash your hands. Again, it's for your benefit only. And this is a training thing. As you can see, 3,999, and this one 4,000 epochs iterations, you can say, for 64 batch size for 2 classes, chair and human hands, 400 images each, so 800, and you can just multiply this thing batch size and iteration, so you'll get the same thing. And again, the object detection versus object tracking video will be separately in the other part, and how part of this project will also be in the separate part. So yeah, that's pretty much for the training. And again, it was done for like 0 to 10 days for testing and training for few hours. You can just keep overnight, it will be done. Again, you have Google Colab, there you can use the GPU from again NVIDIA, so you can also like engage CUDA CNN of NVIDIA architecture. So yeah, that's for now. Let's continue.